Oh, what timing! We're actually heading into the game, so I'm just going to keep a watch on my phone to see that the scene actually switches, because that has been a problem for me a couple of times. But I think hopefully we're over those little technical glitches. As soon as I do see on my phone that the scene switches, yes, it did. Right, let's go into the game. We have. Whoa, this is confusing. So we got Blotch and Blunder is one team. They're over here. Blotch got Huns. He was first pick, so he chose a nice civ there because he's not going to be struggling with getting housed when villagers are coming out twice as fast, or, well, they're supposed to be coming out twice as fast in theory, but let's see whether Blotch can actually maintain that constant villager production right from the start. His teammate is Blunder up here, who is kind of, I think, on AoC zone he's called like the other Chris or something, and he's from Canada. He finished third, I think, in the Noob bashes of AoC, and he's playing as Aztecs, so that's a really strong combo. Huns and Aztecs, two of the very best Arabia civs in that team there. So they're in the kind of eastern corner of the map. Let's go clockwise. Down here, Fresh Feeling 99 from Belgium. I'm afraid I don't know anything else about him other than that. All I can tell you is that he wasn't in the very top league of Noobs of AoC. He is the Britons, which is another nice Arabia civ, and it's kind of a nice safe civ in terms of getting your eco going because of the obvious advantages with the cheap town centres and such. It's not quite as so critical when you've already got two to start off with, but it's a nice easy civ to play for these unfamiliar circumstances. Further on down here we have Peganator in Persians. He is from England and he finished second in the entirety of Noobs of AoC. He faced off against John the Late in what was a kind of effective final, and after taking a 1-0 lead went down 2-1 in kind of dramatic fashion on a very long Oasis game. He's Persians, so that's a nice combination in terms of being able to pair Britain's archers with Persian paladins or something like that, or even more elephants if the game gets that far. And then the next team, the next pairing, Nimino Mayans, obviously quite well known in the kind of community as a sort of someone who hangs out in the streams a lot. A lot of you will be familiar with him if you watch the official Twitch at all. Currently engaged in a Titanic battle, and that's Titanic in not the kind of like collapsing unnecessarily sense of the word. Monumental struggle with Superbur for the top lead in Ubli Gold. He's the Mayans in blue. Teammate is going to be Dinnock, who I don't really know anything about either. I think he was in like the third league or something and Noobs of AoC 3. I was just laughing when he came into the room earlier because I wasn't aware that he was another Leo member and he's Dutch. So I was just saying, like, is there a Dutch breeding program for Leo members? I kind of begin to think that there is. And then the very last... Oh, sorry, he was Mongols. So Mayans and Mongols, that's pretty strong too. And then up here, Celts and Koreans. So this area is going to be the Siege Onager section of the map. You may, if they actually make it that far. We've got General Brad Pitt, who finished, I think, 4th in the Noob Bashes tournament. Although I may have got Blunder and Brad Pitt the wrong way around. Brad Pitt is in Celts, which is a very nice civilization to get your kind of resources going and your boom going with the town centres because of the extra wood bonus. They got a good economy bonus that lasts throughout the game, and obviously if they make it to late game, which in a 2v2v2v2 situation where players could potentially be quite cagey and cautious, then Celts are obviously incredibly strong. And this exact same thing can be said about the civilization that the Pharos has. This is going to be pretty insane if they do go down the Siege Onager route, because you're going to have just so many like OP Siege Onagers between the Celts and the Koreans on the same team. I'd love to see that, just flattening the Mayans down here or something like that. Again, I can't really tell you much about the Pharos other than that he was in probably the third or fourth league, maybe, I think. Or I don't want to get that wrong and disrespect any players, but I know he wasn't in the top league in Noobs of AoC 3. He's playing in the teal as Koreans. So let's see how well any of the players have been coping. In fact, let's go to Blotch because he was telling me not to laugh at him. Let's see what he's doing. He's currently got half a dozen villagers idle under each TC as he lures in one boar. So struggling to kind of multitask at the moment, but he's not doing too bad. He at least got these working. And these guys have, after a little bit of a rest, are working again. But this, let's see if he actually pulls in this boar correctly. Fresh Feeling's gonna wander off into his TC. His scout is right here, and Blotch needs to take that down. He didn't kill the boar. Fresh Feeling's attacking the TC, and this villager's just like, what the hell are you doing, Blotch? Let's go. But eventually the boar comes in. Nothing too much of a disaster, but what is Fresh Feeling doing? This villager's turned into a builder. Let's go to his point of view. Oh, he's just going for a big wall off. Interesting thing about this map, because there's just only, I think it's 8-player map rather than giant map, yeah. So it's a large 8-player map. The opposing players, their edge, the town centres that are closest to each other are just so close. You can see this is the width of one screen here. So it's going to be pretty messy everywhere, I should imagine. Interesting, like Peganators left and right TCs are absolutely miles away, which creates quite a lot of real estate for his team, green and yellow, him and Fresh Feeling. I mean, they can almost trade from this corner to like here, which is probably one of the better trade routes on the map that I see at the moment, if not the best. And obviously if they kill Blotch, then they could have the whole map edge, from edge to edge. Nobody with Spanish though at this point. What on earth? double walling of Linux scouts by Brad Pitt. That is epic. That is what we want to see. That is going on the Titanic. On the Titanic scoreboard, if I can find it. I just need to change one setting in my TeamSpeak whilst I am tabbed out. So just give me one moment to do that. Sorry for being tabbed out for longer than necessary, but it's just to ensure you don't get an annoying noise every time I press the Alt key. Yeah. Dinuk has realised this, so that's sort of funny as he kind of realises what's going on. Looks like 2 scouts for the Pharos went down over here and they didn't even kill that villager that didn't have loom. What on earth? Did these scouts have... Yeah, these scouts. So that's quite nice. Blunder survived a double scout attack without even having loom. I'd say Fresh Feeling and the Peganator are kind of setting up nicely here because they've almost got a full team wall going. They just need to wall this part, and as I said, their trade route would be pretty nice if they and well protected because they've got the back corner, which is miles behind Peganator's left base, and they could trade to here when they're probably only going to be under threat from Blotch there, because I reckon that Blunder's going to be occupied with fighting off Celts and Koreans over here. So I think at this early stage, Peganator and Fresh Feeling are kind of setting up nicely for the long term. Should imagine we'll see just mostly fast castles. That's definitely what Nemo is going for, and because he's Mayans, that makes perfect sense. He's probably going to be going for stone mines and castles at some point. Get those plumes out. These are some pretty big stone walls that Blunder is going for. Trying to see what his gold situation looks like. It's not too bad. He's got these in the back, although some of them, I guess, like 1 or 2 forward golds on double Arabia don't really matter because you've got so many extra golds anyway because you've got double of every single resource. But obviously it's still nicer to have them in the back. See what's going on here. Blotch. Is he going to lose a scout? No, there's not even enough villagers near the TC. I love that Peganator is power building a blacksmith with 5 villagers. Is that 5? No, that's 6 villagers. Blotch just decided he didn't want that scout anymore. So, what's Peganator doing? He's got a barracks. Oh, sneaky stable inside Nemono's walls. I love that. That could be really dangerous, but does Nemo see it at all? I don't know why I'm going on Peganator's point of view to see if Nemono sees it. I almost want to add a point to Titanic for the streamer there. He sees the mill, but he's unless he kind of put that wall up before the villagers went back, then he hasn't got reason to suspect there's a sneak here. But obviously Peganator needs to not do too much. But Double Arabia start with the 2 TCs means Peganator's eco will be able to support double stable knights when he gets to the Castle Age pretty quickly. So that could be quite catastrophic for Nemono, especially as he went up Market Blacksmith and he's probably just going to go for a castle and he won't have any plumed archers for ages. So that's a nice play. But before I award a point to the noobs on the scoreboard, I want to see that come to fruition. Good little tower here from Fresh Feeling. But yeah, basically with the scoreboard, I'm not going to be generous with awarding points from to the noobs. They've got to really impress me in order to earn points. I want Titanic to win, of course. Looks like Blotch wants a castle as well as Huns, so I guess he probably just wants that for defense rather than for any other reason. In fact, everyone wants castles. I guess it makes sense because you've got so many villages, you can spare 5 or 6 on stone to get a castle relatively quickly. A lot of stone walling going up on this side, both from Aztecs and then Koreans. So, as I was saying, if you get Celts and Koreans going into the late game here, they can be hugely deadly. I mean, they would probably just like storm through the Aztecs and the Huns later on. These are good walls. Because look at this. If Dinnock can actually just delete that wall, that wall, that wall, and then go in. Because Brad Pitt rather has used one wall tile of Dinnock as his wall. Double stable knights coming out for Peganator. As I said, I want to see how much damage they actually do before he gets a point. Like, this is his opportunity to redeem himself after giving Titanic a point before the game even started. Oh my god, kill the villagers. What are you doing? He's patrolling on no attack stance, come on. You could have had all those villagers. Come on, come on. Tell me he sees that castle going up. Yeah, he does. He's got to get those villagers. All of those villagers are going to die if Peganator just looks and actually targets them. He had this problem in some of his tournament games where he had just had so many units just not attacking sometimes. Like, I don't know whether he leaves them on no attack, but he's gonna deny that castle. He's gonna kill all those villagers. He's got +1 armor as well, so crossbows with +1 aren't gonna do too much. Who is Noob and who's Titanic? It's a collective thing. It's basically gonna be keeping account of whether the players do terrible things or great things more. But I think this double stable sneak, villager sneak that's denied a castle and killed so many villagers deserves a point. So the noobs are going to pull one back here. Nemono is going, F you, Pega. He's not happy with this. So I definitely think making an opponent rage is deserving of a point too. See what else is going on. Still stone walls over here, although the Pharos, interestingly, has decided that just putting up part of a wall is sufficient, and that his Aztec opponent is just going to be too short-sighted to just go through the gaps on the other side. Seems like Fresh Feeling has just kind of realised that despite the extensive team walling of his team, there is a great massive gap here, and they probably want to do something about that. Meanwhile, Nemino is still dying from the Peganator's Knights, so the Leo member could be doing the biggest Titanic of the early game. Dinnock, meanwhile, just doesn't care. He's just letting his ally die. But he might care once those knights actually find his way to his base if Nemino chases them away. I don't know if Dinnock has anything to repel knights with. Oh, he's got a couple of knights of his own here. So as I said, like this was just a mess. Like the walling intersects. Dinnock can still delete those wall tiles and just run in whenever he likes if the castle wasn't there. Pretty interesting, but I guess he won't. He won't want to run past that castle, especially with no armor on his knights. But everywhere else just looks like stone walls. So, sorry, I probably will be coughing quite a bit tonight. So my throat's a little bit kind of dry and irritated. Everyone in my house and in my family as well, like extended family, relatives, everybody is ill. So that's why I've kind of been ill myself all the time on stream lately. So let's have a look at the scores. Pretty much everyone is on 3,000 points exactly, apart from Peganator's team, because Peganator is surging ahead in points because he's killing Nemino. What population is Nemino on? He's on 70 villages with 40 idols, so that's pretty strong. General Brad Pitt, the Celt player, is just booming like a champ. He's on 100 vills already. And his friend over here, the Pharos, as Koreans, looks like he took a bit of harassment from somewhere or something. I'm sorry, I can't keep my eyes on everything, but he's booming like crazy as well. So we're gonna have two fully boomed there's Celts and Koreans in this game at some point, and that's going to be scary, as I keep saying. Looks like Nemino is just kind of distracted. His head's spinning. His military units are idle. His villagers are idle. He's got knights destroying his stuff everywhere. So he's kind of in by far the worst position at the moment. He's only just decided to get some pikemen out, but coming one at a time from a single barrack is going to do nothing to a whole bunch of knights. Peganator, realising that he's kind of just doing the damage that he needs to Nemino at this point in order to kind of gain some ground and safety, like a safety buffer on the left hand side. He's just going to stonewall this up, because the thing is, if he like half kills Nemino, then he knows Nemino's not going to attack him, and anybody else attacking him from on the left-hand side is going to come through Nemino anyway and probably not attack him until they've destroyed Nemino's base completely. So I think Stonewall's kind of nice. Peganator needs to group his army together now, though, otherwise he's going to start to lose these knights with a couple of pikemen in there. Should probably switch to some different players' point of view, see what their resources are looking like. Let's see what Blotch is doing. 1,500 gold in the bank. He's probably the richest man or boy on the map at the moment. In fact, he could be the richest in AoC anyway, because he's been getting that much prize money like per game. He seems to get like $100 for playing one game lately. So even the pros, just like 2k plus pros, like can only dream of that. Peganator says we need to scout. Like, how bad is their scouting information? Okay, all they know about is Nemino, and they can assume that Blosh is there. Let's see what Nemino's point of view looks like. Resource is kind of okay. It's a bit low on wood and food, but he's got 2 castles up, and he will be able to survive and reboom behind that for now. There's still more gold and stuff to take. Loads, actually, so he's fine. And it looks like his Dinnock is actually going to come and help him with lots of pikemen, so that should shut down Peganator's double stable knights. Over here, Celts, just booming, defending with mangonels and a castle. They've taken a nice wall actually, because they've incorporated all this gold and it's not even harassable from the walls. Double stone walls. Oh my god. I don't want to see a game like that. I don't want that kind of camping. He's even walling this up because that straggler tree would have been a hole in the wall. Obviously you can do the palisade trick on that. Walls going up everywhere, even like re-walls. Got 3 players in the Imperial Age now, both Blunder and Blotch there. Looks like Blotch going to go for Paladins. Blunder's going to go for Elite Eagles for now. Did we have a little bit of lag there? Yeah, Peganator's saying they 2v1 me back, so he's kind of being repelled for now, but I think he's done more than enough damage to Nemino. I don't know why my spectator dashboard isn't working, like telling you resources, researches, and seeing the age is there. It must be some kind of glitch. Maybe it doesn't work with free-for-all, I don't know. But for all the walling that the Celts and Koreans did up here, the Korean player now has a base full of Aztec Elite Eagles with +4, so they're not going to be shifted anytime soon, considering the Pharos has 0 military. And you feel that his 111 villages are not going to be 111 very much longer. And that boom will all be for nothing if he spends the rest of the game with all his villagers stuck in TCs. Like, he's going to need his ally over here, Brad Pitt, to come over and clean that up with Elite Woad Raiders, but Brad Pitt's on that, except for those who are not Elite Woad Raiders by any stretch of their imagination. They are Castle Age Woad Raiders with just +1 attack, so they'll still do pretty well against the Eagles because of the bonus that they get, but he's going to need a lot more upgrades on those to really consider actually taking on a large mass of Eagles. Seems like the game's kind of stabilised besides that raiding now, because there's nothing much going on over here. I guess Nemino could start to push Peganator in a bit if he could kind of get through these wars. I mean, Persians can't even get fortified wall or anything like that, so their wars are really weak, and a couple of P-Tars and he'd be in. But Castle, Siege Workshop, probably not going to do too much damage with plumed archers like that. Meanwhile, the Eagles continue to decimate the Pharos. He's down 30 villagers from a minute ago. And the rest of them pretty much are, well, no, not the rest of them, 15 are idle. But down 33 villagers now, and some of the Eagles have made their way to Brad Pitt, and this is going to be so annoying because Eagles just get everywhere. Like, they just seem to have this kind of special, like if you sent a Hussar to go and kill those villagers, they wouldn't do any, they're just not anywhere near as aggressive. Like, I always think Eagles are just kind of got some kind of special AI that makes them hunter-killers of villagers. They're just so devastating. Obviously, in part that it feels like that because they stick around so much with their piercing armor and stuff, but they're just so annoying. Peganator in the Imperial Age, actually, while Nemino is still stuck in Castle Age, so this castle and stuff, and probably that one for Nemino, probably not going to last too much longer, with Trebs and Cavaliers and stuff coming out. This is quite nice. Nemino saying he's got Trebs and Cav. He's not happy about that as a Castle Age mine. This is a nice trade route. Look at that. Blunder to Blotch. Pretty much 2/3 of a map edge, if you like, with a little bit of a diagonal on it. How many villages is the Pharos on? Okay, he's stabilised at 82. Eagles are out of his economy for now, but look at the death, the pure death and devastation. And his economy is just looking a mess. Like, he's no longer got efficient farmland. All of his farmers are miles away, and still 12 villages idle on built buildings and stuff. Like, and Brad Pitt still can't clean up this eagle problem he's got. He's got Elite Woad Raider now and +2 though, so that will means that once the Woad Raiders catch up with the Eagles, they'll kill them pretty easily. But for now, that's not too much extra going on in different parts of the map. Peganator was still produced a Cavalier out of here, but it seems a bit pointless when the one stable is stranded. But White team just put these Trebs on that hill with the backup of like maybe delete these walls or just a couple of mangonels or something, just to start trebbing down more of Nemino's castles and barracks and archeries and stuff before Nemino actually reaches Imperial Age. see what happens. Do all these plumed archers kill all these trebs from behind the wall? Actually, no, that is Peganator's wall, so if he deletes it all, Numino could just lose all of his cabs here if he doesn't, his plumed archers here if he doesn't go back. But that's fine. Fresh feeling with a trush against Blunder, taking out this wood line. 37 minutes on a double Arabia map. Players are in the Imperial Age. It's time to start trushing with one Feudal Age watchtower. This is an interesting Treb standoff here. Fresh Feeling's got four Trebs in total, but it's 1v1 in the Treb war, and he just lost one for nothing. For a return of nothing, and I feel like if Fresh Feeling lets this wall go down to Blotch's Trebs, then he's going to be in trouble because he's just got a few Arbalests with only +3 attack. Blotch has got a horde of Paladins which will wipe all those out so quickly. Peganator trying to find his way in, and there is a hole. There's a hole in the wall. Peganator instructing his teammate to make halbs because he senses the danger that Fresh Feeling is about to die to Blotch. Yeah, this is 4 teams of 2 in a kind of team free-for-all, and the map was double Arabia, so every player started with 2 TCs, so it was a 16 town centre start on the map, which is pretty crazy. Elite Tarkin's even coming out for Blotch. This could be quite fun if he gets in. I hope he does, just for the entertainment value. I want to see if anybody else is trading at this point. The Leo players from the Dutch players are thinking about it, but haven't really started to yet. I'd really love to see Peganator and Fresh Feeling using that kind of nice trade route. Blotch and Blunder are definitely making the most of the space they have available to them to get a good trade route. They've even not done it against the map edge, but they've done it diagonally just to get a slightly longer one, which is pretty nice, although it's potentially not quite as safe. But is Blotch going to get in? Oh, nice fast wall from Fresh Feeling there. But the Trebuchet's done it. Titanic. I'm definitely awarding Titanic for that. Even though he couldn't really help it because there were 4 Trebuchets behind, but that's definitely going to be a point for Titanic there. Under the fire of 2 castles though, and Blotch only has +2 armour, so he's kind of losing more paladins than you would expect at this point. He's got those cavalry archers shooting at the trebuchet, which doesn't help, but still, you know, like when you're Britons and you've kind of got archery units, then you need to be adding in halberdiers to clean up those paladins. This is looking quite good for the Leo players in terms of being, well, the Dutch Leo players in terms of being able to repel Peganator. The combination of Elite Mangudai with some Mayan plumed archers and then halberdiers is gonna just like do very well against pure paladins. And Peganator's adding in hand cannoneers, and that's just such a strong combination, paladins and hand cannoneers. But at the same time, like the cannoneers aren't the most optimal unit to be using because they don't get any bonus or anything like that against the archery units, and then of course they are quite fragile and vulnerable to archery units, so although it's kind of a nice bit of extra firepower, it's a bit fragile. See what's happening over here. Blotch's Trebs are moving in, going to be taking down castles. So Blotch is doing quite well against Fresh Feeling right now, and it feels like Peganator and Fresh Feeling, for all that I said they've got kind of a nice position on the map early on in the game, they are feeling the pressure on both sides now. Like, Peganator's doing fine, and I don't think the Dutch players will push him over here for a while, but he will be 2v1 as long as this goes on, because it feels like Purple and Teal are fighting against Blunder more than anything. But Purple is into Blunder's base with Elite Woads, and Blotch is coming to try and clean this up, but where's he going? That's not going to help too much. He needs to come over here and deal with this. Blunder's villager population is going to be going down quite dramatically quite soon if Brad Pitt does a good job of spreading everything out. Yeah, I kind of do think you're right. Give the point to the noobs for the raiding. I'm actually going to do it, and I did think about that at the time. So I'm going to give my 1 point for the paladins coming in through the wall down here, because that ended up costing Fresh Feeling so much, including a castle. But then you're right. The Eagle Warrior raiding was nice, and I feel like this has been a nice turnaround for Brad Pitt as well. That he kind of the Aztec player was kind of raiding both of their base with eagles, and now he's kind of the shoes on the other foot. He's applying so much pressure to blunder whilst Blotch is occupied over here, and like eventually when the Pharos gets into the game and rebooms a bit because he lost about 40 population, he still needs to make army, although he's definitely doing that now. Look at this, hand cannoneers. I guess he's making halbs because of Blotch's paladins coming over, but he doesn't really want to make too many more because whilst Blotch isn't here, he doesn't need them. He's fighting Aztecs. If he carries on making halbs against Aztecs, then I'm definitely gonna. And Blotch doesn't actually help with paladins continuously. Then that's definitely Titanic point, I think. But as I was saying, like Pagan Age is gonna have such a hard time now. Mongols, heavy camels, I like that from Dinuk. They're just this army now with some halbs and then heavy camels and then the firepower of Mangudai and Plumed Arch is just gonna shred everything that Pagan Age has got.
Yes.
Dinuk says, "I will make Ferraris." I almost thought he was cheating and thinking the Cobra car then. Blotch is coming to join this little fight over here, but that's a bit fun. A bit unnecessary, I don't know why he's here. But Dinuk's saying I'll make Ferraris, but he actually means I will make siege rams with drill. Ferrari rams. But I think Blunder, after having been the kind of just doing all that obnoxious eagle raiding, has incurred the wrath of General Brad Pitt and Pharos. They're not standing for that, and they're going to wreck him. And I feel like Blunder is going to be the first player to get wiped off this map, more or less. And that is going to, in turn, is going to spell absolute disaster for Blotch. Because although he's doing pretty well over here, especially with some siege rams and Aztec siege youngers adding to the fight, he's just going to get rolled once Blunder's out of the way, and Blunder's not offering resistance really at this point. The only resistance is the fact that there's a time factor, because it's going to, they're obviously purple and teal are going to want to clear all this stuff so Blunder doesn't come back. Peganator says he's struggling here, so it seems like the left half of the map, kind of, or the top left half of the map has decided that they're just going to kill the bottom right of the map and then kind of race to claim all their extra golds or anything if there's anything there, and then turn on each other. At which point, I'd love to see this hole in the wall exploited. If that ever gets deleted, then that's definitely going to be a Titanic point. How many noobs does it take to screw in a light bulb? I don't know, maybe we should invent some kind of like custom scenario that kind of tests that. There must be some way we can simulate it with a custom scenario with triggers and stuff. I don't know. Fresh Feeling doing a nice job of getting this gold, which ostensibly would belong to... No, I don't think it belongs to anyone actually. I think it's an extra gold in the middle of the map. I don't really understand what Blotch is doing, because he just keeps sending paladins down here, which is kind of suicidal with regard to those paladins, but also he needs to help over here. He's got to send so much, otherwise Blunder is dead. Like, there's just no way as Aztecs you can fight fully boomed Celts and fully boomed Koreans. I mean, no matter what civ you are, unless you're just kind of 500 points better than your opponent or something, then you are not going to stand up to a combined Imperial Age Celts and Koreans with fully boomed and with trade. Good trade, actually. Look at this. This is really nice.
Yes.
Nemano and Dinuk are going, let's start trade. I heard them say that, but I saw them say that quite a while ago. And I kind of feel like that's a fail on their part, because Dinuk had all these markets built, like 3 markets, about 20 minutes ago. Why they haven't started trading by now, I do not know. But better late than never, of course. Pagan Age and Fresh Feeling starting to get a little bit of trade. Fresh Feeling is kind of doing a lot better here now that Blotch has...
Yes.
Really well. He's gone down to only 35 military, and he's trying to save blunder, but he's going to lose all this trade. Look at this, it's still going to this market, which is perilously close to all these hand cannoneers, and the siege rams are taking it down as well. So Blotch is about to have no trade. So at that point, well, he's about to have no trade and no allies. So Blotch is in just a terrible situation, and the elite Wahoods are making it down here now. And I guess his attention is going to be distracted so much that Fresh Feeling will push him. But yeah, Fresh Feeling definitely needs to do more on this side, because it's just no way Peganator can hold this. It's just such a powerful combination, and 15 longbowmen are not going to get the job done. And look at this, Mangudai going for the trade or something. Is that what they're doing? I don't know. Just going to go and hide in the forest, I think, just to... Oh, come on, Peganator, get that Onuga shot. Come on. Oh, nice. He moved out of the way at the last moment. And micros against the Onugas as well. Doesn't take a casualty. I reckon that's a point for the noobs. I like that. There's actual micro going on by Leo members. It's something unprecedented. You just do not see it. Oh, this is fun. But look, trade for Peganator and Fresh Feeling is about to be gone. I don't know how they're going to clean this up. I mean, Paladins can go there, but as soon as he moves these Paladins, all of these castles are going to be lost. And the trade is going down. So, let's see. Blunder is dead at this point. I mean, he's kind of trying to find other places in the map to reboot, but he's down to 74 villages somehow, but I think once this army comes, then... Okay, Blunder and Blotch have resigned. We have our first casualties. So, what that means is that Peganator is asking his ally to come and save him ASAP, but the problem is that if Fresh Feeling goes over there, then the Celts and Koreans will probably just roll him. Unless they turn their attention over here, but I just don't think they will. Dinnock says he's scared because he knows that he could have fully boomed Celts and Koreans just coming through this wall at any moment. Seems like the players have paused, so I'm just going to give the noobs that point that I said I was going to give them. I think I'll also paste the straw poll in the... We'll see how the straw poll is doing. Oh, we hardly had any votes. Come on, let's have some more votes, guys. You now get to be able to cheat and vote for... there's one less option in the poll, because one set of teams has been... Well, one set of players has been eliminated. Seems to play... Game over. What the hell? Let me find out what's going on there. I'm going to go into somebody's TeamSpeak just to find out. I don't know what's going on. Blotch is saying we're out as though that's the reason why nobody would be in it. I'm going to rejoin and just see if it works. Cannot spectate game, you joined too late. Oh my god. What? Why is game over? Let me find out what's going on for you guys. Oh, somebody dropped. Somebody dropped. Alright. Don't panic. We shall have a continue. Who are we missing? We're missing Brad Pitt. That was purple, I think. The Celt player. So his teammate, the Pharos, says that he is coming. So hopefully we shall be restored fairly soon. Just looking in the TeamSpeak window to see if I can go and invade anybody. Some of the players are in the Leo game room, but it's pretty crowded in there. Peganator's there by himself, muted. And Brad Pitt is back. So the players should be able to restore.
Hey, wake up.
Muted because he doesn't have TS. Peg, why are you saying you're muted? Because you don't have TeamSpeak? You're in TeamSpeak right now. Do you mean you don't have a mic? I don't know. I could just drag you in here and then you can start carry on spec cheating like it seems you are. All the players have just flocked to the stream the moment the the game ended. I bet you were all there to start off with though. We've got naught spec delay, so stream cheating is highly possible, and because this is Noobs of AoC and it's a fun event, it's highly recommended. Players are in the game, so we should be relaunching pretty soon. Have a look at how the straw poll is doing. Okay, we're back in. Just wait for the lag to settle down a little bit.
Please.
Peganator is struggling for gold whilst Nemino sits on 6,000 and pop capped. They are gonna be in a nice position, I think. Mongol and Mayan combination is looking pretty strong, but it will struggle to go up against the Celts and Koreans if the Celts and the Koreans actually kind of make the correct siege. It does feel like Peganator and Fresh Feeling could be the next ones to go. And I don't know if the game's getting a little bit laggy right now because I've got it on speed 50, so that should be the speed that it's going at. Oh, overlay's bugged. Let me check. Let me just deal with that. I'll turn off the scene switcher and thank you very much, PRVLM, and I'll go to my inside scene. That should have sorted it now, hopefully. Let me do this, and in one moment it should have actually started to work. There we go. Fixed, I think. Yeah, perfect. So Fresh Feeling's finally coming over here to help out, but Arbalest and Halb, not really the strongest combination. This one Onega for Peganator is doing quite a lot of damage. But Fresh Feeling could have a nasty surprise coming his way, because if the Woad Raiders and everything from the Celts player or the Pharos comes in, there is a whole straight through Blush's wall into his base. Here are lots of villagers going down here. I think Fresh Feeling's deleting them for more military. Although he's only got 61 villages. Wow. What resource? Oh my god. He's sitting on so many resources with only 61 villages. He needs to make army, man. 103 military. Where is it? Where is this 103 military? I mean, this is like 50 maybe? Oh, Peganator, don't lose all your paladins. I mean, don't lose them for nothing. You don't have gold. I mean, you can kill the plumed archers, but if Halbs and Mangudai are there... You needed to go together with this, and they needed siege, because there's just no point pushing this. You're not going to take down the castle and everything, unless you've got siege. Look at this here. They're getting ready, I think. Korean keeps around the trade. This guy's been watching his Tato Rex. Siege Oniga cut. Oh my god. This is gonna be it. Dinok is gonna get absolutely wrecked whilst he's fighting this. And the Leos are about to have a bad time. Yeah, it feels like Brad Pitt's just going to concentrate down here. I don't know what I think the Pharos is going to push from the other side. Wow, this is looking really great. Like, the Dinok and Nemino are just busy. Well, Dinok and Nemino and then Peganator and Freshfeeding are busy killing each other. And in the meantime, the Celts and the Koreans in the top, the Pharos and Brad Pitt are just going to come here and kind of clean both of them up whilst they're weakening themselves. Needs to wait for the siege on us before he sends the Wade Raiders in, but that's going to be such a powerful and successful raid once he actually goes in. Peganator says he needs to move to elephants as well, but he's just lost castles. It's not the best. What's his economy like? 143 vils. Yeah, he can definitely do that, but he's going to have the food income with 143 vils, but he needs the gold. Could at least make a couple more castles. 1500 stone in the bank even. Let's have a look what's going on up here. Another forward siege workshop. Mangudai forced to retreat. A lot of castles here though, which can destroy the siege onigers if they get too close. I feel like the Pharos is kind of wasting time here. What's he doing? He's walling this up. I guess that kind of works if he comes and concentrates over here, but I would have thought he would just go straight down here and just pulverise the fresh feeling. Pulverise fresh feeling, not the fresh feeling. Oh, those Mangudai went down. Look, I knew it was looks like 5 or 6, but still quite a few here. But that's a lot of siege onigers. Don't know how Dinok's planning on countering that. But we've got war elephants coming for Peganator, +4 and elite and bloodline, so they're going to be stronger. And suddenly, what the Mayans going to do? They're going to need some monks maybe, because or a hell of a lot of halbs. But halbs aren't going to work with loads of arbaleths and elite longbows there. War elephants can be really strong, especially when you just mix them with some paladins as well. And if fresh feeding kind of micros against any monks that appear with super long range snipers. Dinok says he's going to focus here because Celt's coming, but if the Celt is coming indeed, he's like already here. Fresh feeling missing blacksmith upgrades for now. Peganator wants scouting information, he has none. Wow, they haven't really explored that much of the map at all. Like, they don't even know where the players are. Don't have stables. Let's take down siege castles with siege onigers, because why not? We're the Celts. Our siege onigers are invulnerable. Let's just do it. Elite Scum, is he really short on gold? Because I'd rather just see him make more siege. He's got 10,000 gold in the bank and he's making Elite Skirmisher. Come on, just make more siege. That's what we want to see, not skirms. Does he lose all the siege onigers to Rams? Oh, big siege oninger shot avoided there, but he's going to take them. Oh no, oh no, oh no. That's just so much death. And how is Dinok going to hold this now? He has no army. He's got 20 military units. Oh my god, Celts. Oh dear. He's so unhappy. I kind of just want to award a point to Titanic on the scoreboard now because I just want Titanic to win at the end. I'm definitely biased. GG here. Says Dinnick. And meanwhile, there's just no way Nimona can do this. So after I thought that orange and blue were going to end up fighting purple and teal in the end game, it could actually end up being teal and purple versus yellow and green. My god, those Mangudai.
Yes.
Yeah, both Dinnick and Nimona are just feeling so helpless at the moment. But like, Dinnick's saying you can't do anything over here. Nimona definitely can't do anything over here. Look at this. Paladins, elite war defense. Oh, come on, fresh feeling, use your armor. Just bring in some trebs and archers and they're dead. Leos, all the Leos are going to die first. Pretty typical. It's going to be the first 4 players out are going to be all the Leo players. That clan tag is a curse. I think that is worth some Titanic points in itself, you know. Probably more than one. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that right now because the manner of death, walling all this stuff and then leaving the forest with the kelp being siege on against, getting all your Mangudai splattered, that is worth a Titanic point. So let's go 4-3, Titanic back in the lead. The Noobs are losing. Everybody loses in this Noobs of AoC game. See what's happening in the middle of the map, like everybody's just stealing gold. Like Peganator and Fresh Feeling have been doing such a great job of just stealing the gold with nobody noticing. I mean, Blunder was rebooming over here and Fresh Feeling was still mining there. I mean, look at this. What's going on over here? Nothing much. There's only gold left to mine. And oh yeah, Fresh Feeling's even stealing all of some of Blotch's resources. That's quite nice. And Pharos is here to start kicking Dinnick whilst he is down with some hand cannoneers. So they'll just kind of shoot up the hussars that are knights that Dinnick was opting for, and really Dinnick is dead now. I'm just calling it, and that's why I awarded the Titanic point right then. I feel like Peganator and Fresh Feeling just need to kind of make some more progress, considering their 2v1 against Mayans with War Elephants and Elite Longbows and Arbalests. Like, that combination is just murderous. But at the same time, like, Nimona is going to die anyway because he's got no help from his ally and he's going to get pushed on 2 sides. I'm actually just going to go AFK for 1 minute, but I'll leave you looking at this fight. Okay, I'm back. Let's get an update. Looks like Nimona has just kind of lost his ground. There was a castle there. Predictably, because this army is so powerful, 4 castles, even that would stop the War Elephants for too long once the siege is behind them, taking down the castles. Meanwhile, Koreans are kind of solidifying this ground with totally unnecessary number of keeps. You have to say, you do not need that many keeps when you've already claimed the ground. But I guess it does kind of take and hold the area. Dinnick's just laughing because he's in such a ridiculous situation where he can't fight in anything. The trade cart. What? I missed it. Where's the trade cart? Do we have another slain? And I missed it. I hope you've all seen the I Am a Trade card that came from the UKB in the Nations Cup. The video. Starring Cannibalist as the narrator, of course. Dinux calling GG. GG Celts. What are they flaring over here? They seem to be just like, look at our walls. Yeah, Nemino is out. So, I think what I'd like to see Peganator do right now is just get out of here with all his war elephants. Don't kill the castles because they offer a line of defense for him on this left-hand side. If your enemy's built a load of castles on one flank of your base, and then he's been defeated, he's resigned, leave the castles alive because they will kill your enemies and offer you a barrier to Celts coming through there as well. Stream ended. What the hell? Somebody's dropped again. Let's back out.